The Switch has some of the most incredible open-world games ever made. Whether you're into fantasy, sci-fi, or Wild West adventures, there's something here for everyone. So let's get into it. Here are the top 10 best open-world games on Nintendo Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Okay, so imagine crash landing on an alien planet with no memory of how humanity ended up there. That's exactly where Xenoblade Chronicles X drops you. You're part of a group trying to survive on this massive planet called NieR, and it is genuinely huge, like embarrassingly huge. You explore on foot at first, then later pilot giant mechs called skells that let you fly and stomp around the map. Combat mixes real-time movement with tactical ability management, so fights feel active and engaging. The world is packed with alien creatures, weird environments, and side quests that actually tell interesting stories. The Definitive Edition cleans up the experience nicely and adds content that makes the story easier to follow. It's ambitious, deep, and one of the most underrated RPGs available on Switch right now.
Assault hammer! Nice! Move in and do some damage!
Flame grenade!
Dragon's Dogma is one of those games where everything just clicks once you get into it. You play as the Arisen, a person whose heart gets literally ripped out by a dragon, and now you're on a quest to get it back. The world is dangerous and doesn't hold your hand at all. What makes the gameplay stand out is the pawn system. You build a party of AI companions that other players online can borrow, and you can hire theirs too. Combat is physical and satisfying. You can climb on giant enemies, target specific body parts, and chain skills together. Traveling at night is actually scary because monsters hit harder in the dark. It's the kind of open world where exploration feels rewarding because danger is always around the corner. Dark Arisen adds a brutal dungeon that pushes the game's combat to its limits. A raw, rewarding adventure. Red Dead Redemption is a game that tells one of gaming's most emotional stories, set in a stunning, open-world version of the American frontier. You play as John Marston, a former outlaw forced by the government to hunt down his old gang. The world feels alive. Towns have their own rhythm, strangers have full side stories, and the landscape shifts from dusty desert to snowy mountains. You ride horses, get into gunfights, hunt animals, play poker, and just exist in this beautifully crafted world. The story is patient and character-driven, never rushing to the next explosion. Gunplay is smooth, with the Deadeye system slowing time to land precise shots. It's not just a Western game. It's a story about loyalty, consequence, and the cost of a life on the wrong side of the law. On Switch, you get the full experience in your hands wherever you go. Look, Skyrim needs no introduction, but here we go. You are the Dragonborn, someone with the rare ability to absorb dragon souls and use powerful shouts called Thuum. The main story involves a dragon apocalypse, but honestly, you'll spend most of your time just wandering. That's the magic of Skyrim. Every mountain has a cave, every cave has a story, and every story leads somewhere unexpected. You build your character however you want: sneaky archer, heavy tank, pure mage, or a ridiculous mix of all three. The combat is simple, but gets the job done. What Skyrim really sells is atmosphere. Walking through a blizzard toward a glowing dungeon entrance, hearing that iconic score kick in, it just hits different. On Switch, you also get Legend of Zelda themed gear, which is a fun little bonus. Years later, this one still pulls you back in. NieR Automata is unlike anything else on this list. You play as 2B, an android soldier fighting in a war between machines and humans, except nothing is as simple as that sounds. The gameplay blends fast hack-and-slash combat with bullet hell shooting, and it switches between perspectives fluidly. One minute you're in third person slicing robots apart, the next you're in a top-down shooter dodging a wall of bullets. The world is a ruined Earth, quiet and melancholy, full of abandoned cities and strange mechanical creatures. What the game does brilliantly is use its open world to build atmosphere, rather than fill it with busywork. The story goes deep into themes of consciousness, purpose, and what it means to be alive. You need to complete multiple playthroughs to get the full picture, and each one genuinely changes your understanding of what happened. A truly special experience. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake. If you've never played the games that basically invented the JRPG genre, this is your shot. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are the originals, the blueprints, remade in a gorgeous HD 2D art style that makes them look stunning. The first game is a solo adventure, where you play as a descendant of a legendary hero tasked with defeating the Dragon Lord, who has plunged the kingdom into darkness. It's simple, focused, and surprisingly charming. The second game expands everything. You get a small party, a bigger world, and a more complex villain. Turn-based combat keeps things approachable, and the remake adds quality-of-life features that make both games feel modern without losing their classic soul. The HD 2D visuals, pixel characters, layered over gorgeous lighting and depth effects make every town and dungeon a pleasure to explore. These are the roots of an entire genre, and now they look incredible on Switch. Dragon Quest XI-S is the full package when it comes to traditional JRPGs. You play as the Luminary, a young man who discovers on his 16th birthday that he's the reincarnation of a legendary hero, and then immediately gets accused of being a harbinger of darkness by the kingdom. The story that follows is genuinely epic, spanning continents and generations. You build a party of unforgettable characters, each with their own backstory and personality, and the writing gives everyone real moments to shine. Combat is classic turn-based and deeply satisfying once you learn the nuances of each character's skill tree. The world is massive and gorgeous, full of towns that feel lived in and dungeons that reward exploration. The S version includes a full orchestrated soundtrack, a retro 2D mode, and loads of extra story content. It's warm, emotional, and one of the most complete RPG experiences on the platform. Absolutely worth every hour. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is an emotional gut punch wrapped in one of the best open-world RPGs ever made. The story follows 6 soldiers from 2 warring nations who are forced to work together after a mysterious event changes everything they thought they knew about their world. The writing is mature, and heavy themes of mortality, purpose, and manufactured conflict run through every part of it. The world of Ionios is breathtaking, built from layers of old landscapes fused together, and exploring it feels genuinely rewarding. Combat is the most refined in the series. You control a party of 6 characters, each with distinct roles, and battles become these layered, strategic dances once you understand the systems. There's also a deep class system that lets you mix and match abilities across your whole party. It rewards the time you put in. For fans of story-driven RPGs, this is one of the most ambitious and emotionally affecting games on Switch, period. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild redefined what open-world games could feel like. You wake up as Link with no memory, and the whole kingdom of Hyrule is just there. You can see a mountain in the distance, and you can go to it. Right now. No loading screen, no level gates, nothing stopping you. The physics engine lets you do wild things. Cut down trees to make bridges, use metal objects as weapons in a lightning storm, cook food to survive cold weather. Shrines scattered across the world teach you mechanics through clever puzzles. The 4 divine beasts serve as the main dungeons, and each one is inventive and memorable. Ganon is the threat looming over everything, but the world is so rich you'll forget about him for hours, just exploring ruins and talking to NPCs. It respected the player's intelligence and curiosity in a way that felt new. This game genuinely changed how people think about open-world design. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom takes everything Breath of the Wild built and turns it into something even more extraordinary. Hyrule is back, but now it's layered a mysterious underground, the familiar surface, and a brand new sky realm full of floating islands. The story digs deeper into the lore and goes places that genuinely surprised people. But the real magic is the new abilities. Ultra Hand lets you grab and fuse objects together to build machines, vehicles, weapons, contraptions, and the creativity the game unlocks is almost limitless. People built flying machines, mechs, and combat tanks within days of launch. Ascend lets you phase through ceilings, Recall rewinds object movement, and Fuse transforms weapon crafting entirely. The world is denser, the systems are deeper, and the sense of discovery never runs out. It's a game that trusts you to play however you want and rewards every approach. On Switch, this is the pinnacle of open-world game design. And that's the top 10 best open-world games on Switch. Every single one of these is worth your time. Drop your favorite in the comments, and if you're new here, subscribe. There's way more gaming content coming. Let's go.